And then they have cans of soup. Soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
That will enhance our underlying effort to accommodate the Russian oligarchs and make sure we take their ill-begotten gains. We're going to accommodate them. We're going to seize their yachts, their luxury homes, and other ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. The guys who are the kleptocracy. But these are bad guys.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-up. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up. But they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it. Because whoever thought of that idea, is in big trouble. The first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I try to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
The fossil fuel industry, they weigh in so significantly. I mean, how could it be?
Testing. Hello? Testing. Hello? Testing. Hello? Is this thing on? Testing. Hello? Is it on? Is it, hello? 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 Testing! Okay, what's that? Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of the Above It All program. Today is October 19th. It's the 19th of October today. And so we are chilling here today. It is cold outside. The air is crisp and cold outside. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. I'm having my morning. I am in mourning. Because, well, I'm not in mourning. I can't think of anything funny. But anyway, it's the show today. I took a couple days off yesterday. I decided, I took a couple days off yesterday. Anyway, so, yeah, I'm back, and I'm gonna do a news show. Today is the goal, is the plan. I look a little disheveled. Do I look disheveled? Or is this like a normal? Does this look good for me? Like my hair is all knotted up and fucking every which direction. What the hell is going on here? But anyway, so I'm doing a show. I kind of took a little bit of a vacation. Next time I take a vacation, I will try to announce it ahead of time. But I decided to take a vacation. And, needless to say, the board is not happy with me. The board, of investors has raided the tip jar. As previously established, I do have a tip jar, on the screen. Well, it's not on the screen, but they raided the tip jar, as you can see. The board, they said, we got to pay for this somehow. So they raided my tip jar. They've stolen from me. They're unhappy with my impromptu vacation. And so, if anyone wants to contribute, to refill the tip jar, that would be great. That would be really cool if you want. If you don't want to, though, that's fine. But, you know, I'm just throwing it out there. It's an option. So I'm doing a show today. It's the Above It All show. I got some news to talk about. I got 4 movie reviews. I mean, it's a jam-fucking-packed fucking show. Holy shit! Wow! Oh! Mila, $3 super chat. Excellent. So anyway, I guess we'll start the show. I guess. But yeah, just on a note, I'm really high. I didn't realize I was this high, but I did a lot of weed yesterday, and I didn't realize I was this high until I started trying to talk. But I appreciate everybody who is sending me kind messages. I will let you know I did not read any of them, but I appreciate that people sent them to me. Maybe I'll read them later. But if you sent me any get well soons, there's a 98% chance I did not read it. But that's that shouldn't impact whether or not you want to send it. So feel free to send it, and then don't have any expectation of a reply. I'm inundated with messages, with notifications, with buzzing, getting buzzed on. So, you know, sometimes I need a break from all of that stuff. But yeah, so anyway, I don't know. I think I said everything I need to say, but let's get right into the news show. This is a news show. And I got a good story to start us off with. So, you know, the U.S. of A., the United States of America, decent country, could be better. Exhibit A, Missouri elementary school found to have unacceptable levels of radioactive contamination will be closed indefinitely. Yeah. Just radioactive contamination in Missouri at a school. What? Let's find out more. An elementary school outside St. Louis found to have unacceptable levels of radioactive contamination will be closed for the rest of the semester, with students shifting to virtual learning starting Monday, the school board announced. So COVID, that's fine. We'll go in person. 83% of kids have had COVID. That's fine. It's all good. But contamination of radiation... Remote learning! We gotta go back in! Just saying, it's interesting. Thank you, Environmental Coffee House, for the $2. Appreciate it. Jana Elementary School in Florissant, Missouri, as well as its kindergarten playground, had high levels of radioactive contamination stemming from waste dating back to the creation of the first atomic bomb in the 1940s, according to motherfucker. Okay, I'm sorry. Does that mean that there's been nuclear waste there for like fucking 70 years, 80 years? Is that what that means? Or is it like the waste took that long to get to this point and then it started causing problems? Oh. In a meeting attended by about 100 people on Tuesday, the Hazelwood School District Board of Education announced the school, which serves just over 400 students, will be closed to in-person learning. The administration will move on. Rachel said 2 Jana Elementary preschool classes will continue to be taught in person at a different school building. All other students will have to be assigned to other schools. So I want to know more about... Okay, Jana Elementary Schools sits near Coldwater Creek, which was contaminated with uranium processing residues used as part of the Manhattan Project to develop the atomic bomb in the 1940s and 50s. According to the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry, the levels of radioactive lead, known as lead-210, found in the kindergarten playground were more than 22 times the expected background, while lead-210 levels on the school's basketball courts were more than 12 times the expected background. The report said lead exposure can affect nearly every system in the body and can damage the brain and nervous system. And greater exposure to radioactive materials can lead to cancer later in life. Imagine finding this out, but like, imagine you went to this school in like 1976. Like, imagine you went to this fucking stupid-ass school in, like, 1984, and then you read this story, and you're like, holy fuck. No wonder I got cancer 6 years ago. Holy shit. So, there you go. That's cool. You know, should I talk about the nuclear explosions? Should I talk about nuclear waste and radioactive? Do I need to? I think everyone knows that humans are pretty fucking stupid. I don't know. God damn. God damn. You got some dumbass motherfucking assholes on this planet. Oh, what if we built a nuclear bomb? Oh, what if we built a nuclear bomb? Wouldn't that be so cool? Wouldn't that be the coolest thing in the world? Let's go build it next to a school. Whoa! Yeah, there's sites all across the country where they would test nuclear shit, like especially in like New Mexico, you know, Utah, those fucking places. They would test a lot of that shit. People have been experiencing issues for decades, and the government, typically the government, you know, in the couple decades after the nuclear tests were done, would just cover up the bullshit. So, you know, just a really cool country, really cool society that we've built. And what could possibly go wrong? So, there you go. So, doing a show today. Doing a program today. Folks, y'all, if you will. I need your help. That's right. I have decided to do a thing. I've done a thing. I've decided to create a second YouTube channel for my Doom speedruns specifically. I would appreciate it if people subscribe to the channel so that I can monetize it, because I love money. But you know, I figured I would make a separate channel so that, I've had a lot of people ask me to do this over the years. Over the last couple days, I decided, you know what? Let's do it. So, going to be posting Doom speedruns over there. I'm going to be posting gaming content still here. Like the fun stuff with the webcam on, where I'm being wacky and zany. But the other stuff will be over there. So, subscribe. Watch the videos so that I can get the monetization on that shit. John D. Rocky, 199. Appreciate you, ampersand chat. Already subscribed. What a great super chat. What a great fucking super chat. Holy shit, John D. Rocky. Thank you so much. Wow. Oh, wow. But yeah, watch the videos. Give me the watch time. Give me the subs. I need 1,000 subscribers before I can get monetized, so. Alright, fuck. So this is some fun gamer news. Where are the gamers at? Hold up. Yeah, I'm a gamer. Look at this. Yeah, look at me. I'm a gamer. I play games, folks. That's what gamers do. In fact, I'm such a gamer that on my stand that I use for my camera, as you know, I'm lower now because I have the Silent Hill 2 PlayStation 2 as my camera stand. I have a stack of video games and books. And this is where I have my Silent Hill 2. It's always there. It's always watching. But I'm a gamer. And I like Silent Hill 2. I'm a fan of Silent Hill 2. And there's some Silent Hill 2 news. You might be thinking to yourself, didn't that game come out like 20 years ago? When did Silent Hill 2 come out? Like 2004, 3? No, I think it's 2002. I'm not sure. God damn, that game was old as hell. Anyway, so it's been 20 years since Silent Hill 2 came out. What possible news could there be? Well, Konami apparently, this came out a long time ago, that there was like some leaked screenshots of Silent Hill 2 remake. But anyway, this is an update. Silent Hill 2 is going to be officially remade. Konami's doing a live stream. And I've got some tweets here by a tweeter. Today, Konami is going to do a live stream where they announce Silent Hill projects. But in the metadata, in the tags for the live stream, they posted some interesting stuff. So let me read this. Konami have revealed via a YouTube premiere video description that a project called Silent Hill 2 will be announced at tomorrow's live stream event. A placeholder space for a store page for Silent Hill 2 is reserved in the description of the video. The video tags also follow, featuring terms like Silent Hill Ascension. Y'all, we're getting it. It's a new Silent Hill game. They said it couldn't be done. They said it would never happen. They said the pachinko machines would take over Konami and make them so much money they would never return to video games. But here we are. Silent Hill Ascension, a new video game in the Silent Hill series. I don't know what the last one is. What is it, like Homecoming or Downpour? One of those ones. I don't know. I didn't play any of the Xbox 360, PS3 era Silent Hills. I stopped at Silent Hill Origins, and I played a little bit of Shattered Memories. But another thing that's announced here is there's going to be another Silent Hill film. Now, this is also, I reviewed the original Silent Hill film for the Spook Sixular horror movie series. And when I reviewed that, I looked up news on the Silent Hill film, and I found one article that suggested the director is planning a third movie. And now, we have alternative and official announcement that there is a Return to Silent Hill teaser trailer. This live stream will be happening today. And so you can go watch it. Maybe I'll do another segment on this tomorrow. But I'm a huge Silent Hill fan. And I'm a gamer. So we're getting into gamer news. That's right. Gamer news with the gamer today on the Above It All show. And now let's take the fucking glasses off. All right. Should hurt my ears, you know? Fucking things. It's a fucking fake ass garbage. It's not even real. Anyway, so that's cool. Is Seinfeld still part of the camera stand? I replaced Seinfeld with Cosmos. I'm not sure. I think it's an upgrade, but I'm not sure. Might just be like a horizontal replacement. But right now on the camera stand, I've got Silent Hill 2. I've got Rayman. I've got Cosmos. I've got Yu-Gi-Oh! DVDs. So, where is there's... I don't want to alarm anyone. Alright? I don't want to, but I will. I need everyone to look at the screen. Brace for impact, because what you're about to see will blow your mind. There is a shark dog on the couch. There is a shark dog. Max, are you a shark dog? Are you a shark dog, Max? Everybody, there is a shark dog taking a nap. Look at him! Max, they want to see you. You're famous. You're famous. He doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, then we have a shark dog. This is the Above It All show. Brought to you by the Above It All show, which is also brought to you by the Above It All show, which is sponsored by the Above It All show. And we are working on this show in partnership with the Above It All show. And so welcome to the program. I'm doing a show today. So that's the show, and I'm doing it. There's a shark dog. Max, you're a shark dog. All right. Let's talk about anime. So there's a guy who... Now again, this is according to reports that I've seen from other people. There's this guy out there that calls himself a human being. I'm not sure if that's true. Not sure. But this guy, Matt Washing Machine, is he talked about anime on his show. This was trending a couple of days ago. And let's see what this guy has to say about anime, because I'm sure it's going to be intelligent.
What's your opinion on anime? It's really popular amongst teens and young adults. I think it's all satanic. I have no argument for it. I have no argument for why it's satanic. It just seems that way to me. All anime to me seems weird, just like bizarre, creepy. And in general, I don't think that adults should be, whether it's anime or any other kind of cartoon, with rare exception, adults really shouldn't be watching cartoons in general, I would say.
With rare exceptions. I love how he knows he's got a favorite cartoon. But this is, this is like what we're dealing with as far as like this is a thought leader in the Republican Party. Like, this is like J.K. Rowling. I need everyone to understand. J.K. Rowling endorsed this guy's campaign on attacking transgender people. J.K. Rowling specifically signal boosted this guy's campaign to attack and eradicate transgender children. So, just throwing that out there. It's a little strange. I love this idea that he's going to call anime satanic. Now, anime is a very divisive thing. There's a lot of people that are very fascistic that love anime. I don't know how many people are into anime in my audience. I consider myself an intermediate anime fan. I'm not super into it. Doesn't define my personality, but I do enjoy more anime than the average person. And I have noticed in a lot of anime communities and fandoms, there's a lot of neo-Nazis in anime communities. Now, I'm not trying to say that anime is inherently fascistic. I'm not saying that at all. There's a lot of neo-Nazis in video game communities as well. So, like, it's weird when these, like, right-wing guys, like, will attack video games, which Matt Washing Machine has done before. Josh Hawley, like, Republican senator, was trying to, like, draft legislation that, like, would limit people's access to, So, it's crazy when these guys talk about anime and video games and talk about how evil it is, when a large chunk of young neo-Nazis love video games and love anime. It's weird. It's weird. Now, it's weird that they love video games and anime, too. That's also weird. But it's weird that these guys, like, they really, like, that's the thing with Republicans and conservatives, is they really don't like being popular. Like, they hate it. They hate saying something that a good chunk of people are going to agree with. Right? Like, the idea that you're going to say anime is satanic, like, what does that accomplish? Are you trying to get people in your group off of anime? Like, anime is anonymous or something? Like, I don't know, man. I also love how he says, I have no argument for it. Well, no shit you don't. So, Andrew Kohler, $5 super chat. Washing Machine says, I have no argument for it so much for facts and logic. Also, Jesse Gender's video on him has been taken down. I don't know who that is, but rip to Jesse Gender. Interesting name. But anyway, so there you go. Anime is satanic. Now, I have to say this. As an already established anime fan, this might be what pushes me into the edge of being the weeb that I've always been meant to be. Anime is satanic? Fuck yeah, I love Satan, bro. Satan and I go way back. So I'm going to have to take a second look at anime. I've been watching the new Chainsaw Man anime. For those of you that don't know, I enjoy the mangas as well. So, if anyone has any anime recommendations, hit me up. But there you go. That's Matt Washing Machine. And really, again, trying to be as unpopular as possible. So, there you go. This is the Above It All show. Brought to you by Andrew Kohler, $5 super chat. Brought to you by John D. Rocky, $1.99 super chat. Environmental Coffee House, $1.99 super chat. And Mila Rasson, $3 super chat. So that's great. So I'm doing a show. I decided to, I woke up today and I thought to myself, you know what? Fuck it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do a show. Today's show is, I don't know, kind Can I get a rating? Is the rating good? What are the ratings? Is it good show? Mediocre show? Abner is delving into the nuclear bombs caused anime theory, which I am a student of. So, step 1, we nuke Japan. Step 2, their DNA is so irreparably irradiated that they think to themselves, what if we made anime? Step 3, they made the anime. Step 4, we're all enjoying it across the world. It's a good theory. So it's a good theory. Anyway, doing a show today. Today is the Above It All show for October 19. Once again, I am going to be doing 4 horror movie reviews at the end of today's show. So factor that in to your life. Your life should be updated with this information. So there you go. Let's talk about this. 4 what? Oh, movies, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? There's 4? Jesus. Yeah, I was watching a lot of movies. Jesus. I gotta redo my fucking fingernail paint. Look at this shit. You think I can just, like, go over this? Like, would that look shitty if I just went over it, like, without removing any of it? You think? I don't know. Like, this one. What happened here? Like, how does this happen? Like, what's the science around this, right? Like, pinky looks fucking perfect. I mean, there's no issue with it at all. This finger looks fucking perfect. Middle finger, like, am I flipping people off so much that the fucking paint just flies off? I don't know, man. So, we'll see. Gotta do a little patch for the last week of October. Gotta patch me up. I fell last week. I physically injured myself. And I'm hesitant to show the damage of this injury. But I have 2 giant bruises on my body. And they kind of make me nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at them right now. They make me a little nervous. The Saddest Dude asks, what's your stance on incels? Are you an incel, the Saddest Dude? Do you need me to fix you? Is that what you're asking? Get press-on nails? Yeah, I don't do that shit. Yeah, the thing about getting nail polish on your fingers is, like, all you gotta do is wash it off in the morning. That's my strategy. Like, fuck it, I'll fuck my fingers up, whatever. In the morning, just wash them off. Right? Because it rests on your nail, but it doesn't rest on your skin, because your skin is constantly, you know, you're constantly getting the dead skin, right? So you give it like 8 to 12 hours and you can just, like, you know, you can just go like that. That's what I do. You can use like a nail file, but that can hurt yourself. How is this going to affect my wiki feet rating? I don't know. My feet are fine, but I've got 2 gigantic bruises on my legs. And it's painful. It's a very painful way to live, and I regret everything in my life. So anyway, hopefully the Saddest Dude gets back to me on my answer to their question. But in the meantime, let's get into another news story. So, I I'm going to be honest with y'all. I know a lot of people, when they talk about this guy, right, like, there's a lot more context. But I don't know any of the context, right? So we're going to be talking about Kanye West today, also known as Ye. Now, again, I've never listened to a Kanye West song. I know nothing about him at all in any way. I know a lot of people like this is like their idol or some shit. I don't know. So I am uninitiated, uneducated, and ignorant on this guy's artistic career. But what I can say is people have been asking me to talk about him. And I'm going to start off with this. The family of George Floyd plans to file a $250 million lawsuit against Ye. So that's interesting. Now, again, I don't know this guy. I know that this guy is like a famous musician. I've never heard, maybe I've like listened to it in the background, but I can't identify it, right? Never heard any of this guy's music. I don't care. But I know like a lot of people, I've seen a couple videos of people talking about him. And like they like make these like really strange, like, oh, he's bipolar. Oh, he's just weird. Oh, like, I don't know, man. Again, I don't know anything about this guy, bipolar or not. Right? But this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, the first time I heard of Kanye West was when he went to the Oval Office, when Trump was in office, and then, like, his password was shown on, like, the videotape, and then, like, he just wouldn't stop talking, and then Donald Trump was like, it's over. The press conference is over, and he kept talking. Like, that's the first time I heard of Kanye West. So, but again, all over the media, like, I watch a couple of videos from, like, progressive YouTubers on this guy, because I don't know shit about Kanye West. And everyone is like, oh, he's bipolar, he doesn't know, he's being manipulated by Candace Owens, and that's all very possible, but who cares? Like, the guy's a fucking moron. So anyway, let's read this. The family of George Floyd announced Tuesday that they will file a $250 million lawsuit against Ye, the rapper formerly known as Kanye West, following comments he made about Floyd's death on the podcast Drink Champs. Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office ruled that George Floyd's death was homicide caused by Derek Chauvin kneeling on Floyd's neck for over 8 minutes. But Ye was a guest in last weekend's episode of the podcast hosted by rapper Nore and DJ EFN, put forth the idea that it wasn't Chauvin who caused Floyd's death, but that he died from fentanyl use. So I have the clip here. This is like difficult to find. I had to find it reposted. I don't know, like, I'm gonna get banned for this, but anyway, Kanye West went on this podcast, and honestly, I'm just gonna play the whole clip. Honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, Kanye West is an excellent content farm. No, I've been trying to, like, because I don't know anything about this guy, so I've been trying to just ignore the whole recent controversies. But this one is so crazy to me, like, and I know he's been on this tear for, like, the last, like, couple months or whatever. I'm aware of this, but I've stayed out of it. But, this is funny. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This is funny. All right, so let's watch.
I want y'all to run up on me.
No.
I want y'all to come kill me.
No.
I want you to smack me.
No.
I want you to do all the shit you rap about.
No.
All the shit you rap about. I want you to come do it now. Come down to this joint right now, please. Or otherwise, shut the fuck up unless you was there when the Kardashians kidnapped my kids.
Okay, so I don't know. We're starting in the middle of something, but trust me. Like, it's worth playing this. So he's asking people to come up on him, and now the Kardashians stole his kids. Now, again, I don't know if that's true. I know nothing about this guy. Apparently, he was married to a Kardashian. I don't know which one. I don't care. Okay? I don't care about any of those people. But if they stole his kids, that's crazy. That's fucked up. Let's keep going.
You understand? Now go and get y'all some motherfucking business while we go and get free. because I'm Moses out here. You know what I'm saying? I watched the George Floyd documentary that Candace Owens put up. One of the things...
Okay. All right. Step 1, come kill me. Step 2, the Kardashians stole my kids. Step 3, I'm Moses. And then that somehow transitions to... So I was watching Candace Owens' George Floyd. Now, again, I know this guy's a mental patient. Apparently. People tell me this. Now, I know people that have bipolar disorder. And they say, and can say, and have said some really fucked up shit. Like, hey, I'm just saying, I know people that are bipolar, and they have said some of the most fucked up shit imaginable. And, and then they apologize for it, and then they, it's back and forth, and that, it's just part of the thing. But let's be honest here. Like, the idea that this guy should be shielded from any criticism because he's apparently bipolar. Everyone has some sort of mental fucking illness. Let's be honest. There is no such thing as being mentally healthy. In United States of America in 2024, the idea of being mentally stable and healthy doesn't exist. It's not real. Right? Everyone's got some form of a fucked up brain in some way. I'm sorry, if you think you're normal, that in and of itself is a form of mental illness. Right? So, like, when I go on this show and I talk about stupid motherfuckers, I'm sure that some of these Republicans are genuinely fucking crazy. I'm sure. That they are, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm sure has got some problems there, right? That doesn't mean what they say isn't fucked up. So, I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about rap. My rap knowledge, like, maxes out in, like, the 1980s and 90s. I don't know anything about rap in like, this modern world. I'm sorry. That's not my thing. Or music in general. I don't really pay attention to modern music in general. So I don't know any of the characters involved, right? But, so anyway, so now we're going to talk about George Floyd. Now, again, George Floyd's family is suing him over these comments. Like, they must be really bad, right? Let's watch. Let's scroll back a little bit to the Moses part.
Out here. You know what I'm saying? I watched the George Floyd documentary that Candace Owens put up. One of the things that his two roommates said was, they want a tall guy like me. They want a tall guy like me. And the day when he died, he said a prayer for, 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. He said a prayer for 8 minutes. They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's
I just want to say this. Watch his hands. Watch his hands here. Okay, so I've got a couple questions. They want a tall guy like me. Who's they? Like, who is they? Does anyone know? Who is they? Then they hit him with the fentanyl? Who is they? What? But watch his hands.
No. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. When he said mama is his girlfriend.
Okay, so his knee wasn't even on his neck like that. What does that mean, like that? Like what? like, having your knee on the neck to asphyxiate someone? Like, what is... I don't know, but watch his hands. The hands are the entertaining part.
They said he screamed for his mama. Mama was his girlfriend. It's in the documentary. But something that hit me, that fucked me up when I was watching the documentary, and it said, they want a tall guy like me. When I looked at that image of him, this tall black dude with the bald head, he reminded me of somebody else. Who you think he reminded me of?
Virgil.
He reminded me of Virgil. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna cry in front of y'all because
I don't know who Virgil is. I'm sure that there's more context there.
That's how they get me, right?
But anyway, let's get back over here. The family seeks damages for defamation, harassment, and more. The lawsuit will be filed by Roxy Washington, the mother of Gianna Floyd, George Floyd's only daughter and the sole beneficiary of his estate. Washington plans to sue Ye his business partners, and associates for harassment, misappropriation, defamation, and infliction of emotional distress, seeking $250 million in damages. According to a statement from Washington's attorney, Kanye's comments are a repugnant attempt to discount George Floyd's life and to profit from his inhumane death, said attorney Pat D. Dixon III. We will hold Mr. West accountable for his flagrant remarks against Mr. Floyd's legacy. So, you know, there you go. First Amendment. I got a First Amendment right to say some fucked up bullshit. Anyway, this will be fun to watch. I'm sure that that's going well. For Kanye West. Now, again, I don't know who Virgil is. I'm sure someone else named Virgil is in this documentary. I don't know. But anyway, that's entertaining. I'm sorry. I tried to resist talking about this character, but I have failed to do so. So here we are. The saddest dude, no. I'm curious what you meant with fixing me. Well, I mean, I'm assuming you're asking me the question because you're an incel, or you might be an incel, but you're not sure. I don't know. Like, why would you ask the question? Like, how do I feel about incels? I mean, like, it's a really stupid question, right? Like, it's a stupid question. So I'm just curious, like, the question behind the question. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to skip, you know, like we're playing chess here. Or we're playing checkers, and you're just going through the motions, right? Like, I already know that I've won. Well, it doesn't need to be a winning, but I already know, like, 5 moves ahead. I just want to skip there. I don't care about any of the small talk. But anyway, they hit him with a fentanyl. Who's they? Who knows? You saw a documentary before I got here. Oh, okay. All right. All right, let's get into the movie review portion of the show. We've got 4 Halloween movies. And we're going to be jumping in. So, there's no such thing as involuntary celibate. There's only people who refuse to fuck people uglier than them. Did you see they arrested voters with voter cards in Florida, all POC terrorizing voters? That's crazy. Nope, message retracted. I didn't even read it. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go out there and say that, like, there's no such thing as an incel. But, like, you know, like, I mean, it's a very complicated subject. I don't think it's that simple. I think society creates atomization, right? Society forces people to be alone in ways that are highly destructive to the human mind, right? And you mix that, it's like the fucking shit in the Powerpuff Girls, you know, like, just throw some chemical X in there and then boom, you got an incel, right? But, like, you know, you mix that with, like, the internet, so you're atomized, right? You don't know how to talk to anyone, you don't know how to meet people, but you do have access to the internet, right? And, you know, you look things up that are relevant to your crisis of you can't get laid, you don't even know how to meet a friend, let alone a bitch, right? So you can't get laid, you look for tips, and then you find other people in the same situation, right? And then it becomes the feedback loop, right? Where, like, incel number 1 talks to incel number 2 about how bad their life is. Incel number 2 talks to incel number 3. It's like the game of telephone, right? Like, it gets worse and worse over time, creates the feedback loop, and then boom, it's over. Now there was this fucking incel that planned on killing, like, 3,000 women at a sorority or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, and then he got, like, arrested, like, because of his Google history or I don't know. I didn't look into it too much, but yeah, I mean, like, that's a problem. Like, the problem is, like, there's not really an off-ramp for incels, right? And, you know, it's all kinds of extremists don't really have an off-ramp. But, like, you know, again, and the other thing about it is, like, it's toxic masculinity. Like, people, like, their entire identity gets wrapped up in the idea that in order to be, like, a real man, you need to fuck bitches or some shit. Right? And then, like, if they can't do that for whatever reason, they feel like they failed at being a man. And they got to take it out. You know, and that's, like, the problem. Is, like, you know, if someone is an incel, right, like, what is the solution to that? Like, having a way to help people socialize easily, right? Like, there should be community outreach programs, you know, like, oh, we've got, you know, these kinds of meetings, these groups, these clubs, these activity workshops, these things, right? It should be easier to find access to this information, and society should push people in that direction. But when someone becomes an incel, which is different from being unable to get laid, an incel is really a state of mind, right? Like, when someone becomes an incel, my opinion, they're too far gone. Like, it's possible. Like, I'm willing to you know, believe that it's possible that they can be off-ramped. But I'm not going to expend any mental energy on that, right? Like, if you want to stop the incel epidemic or pandemic in this country, the best way to do so would be preventing people from becoming incels rather than trying to off-ramp incels, because these people are crazy. Like, if you go to these incel forums, they're fucking crazy. Like, it's phrenology, right? Like, they talk about, like, oh, my skull is, like, you know, half a millimeter too narrow, and now that's why I can't get bitches, you know? Oh, you know, like, blah, 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 right? Like, they are crazy motherfuckers. They are crazy motherfuckers. So my opinion is, if someone is an incel, fuck them. Ignore them. You know, like, take adequate measures to protect yourself, right? But, like, I am more interested in preventing people from becoming incels. And my way to do that would be to expand access to social programs. And I don't mean, like, you know, welfare, but I mean, like, you know, tennis club that doesn't cost, like, fucking membership, or, you know, like, more clubs, social activities. Why is that shit, like, you know, like, people, oh, join a club when you're in school, and then when you're an adult, like, no one tells you how to do that, you know? So, like, that's where people get stuck in these traps. And those things do exist, right? There are, like, you know, fucking groups and clubs and all these kinds of little things that exist. It's just, it's hard to find them, and people, they just don't know how, you know? You know, it's a problem. But as far as incels go, my opinion, anyone who's in that kind of space that would be qualified as an incel, probably too far gone. So, that's my opinion. But I mean, yeah, like, not everyone deserves to have sex with anyone that they want, and that's one of the issues that creates incels, is they want to have sex with anyone that they want, and they can't. You know? I'm sorry. Like, would the world be great if we could all fuck anybody we wanted? Guess what? No, because someone who you don't want to fuck is going to want to fuck you, and that's going to cause problems, right? So, you know? Anyway, so that's my actual opinion on incels. So there you go. Now let's jump into the movie review portion of the show. Real quick though, once again, I bit the bullet. There was a bullet, and I decided to bite into it. I made a second YouTube channel for Doom speedrunning. Subscribe so that I can get the monetization. And even if you don't like the game, I don't care. Subscribe to the channel anyway so I can get the monetization. So there you go. Check it out. All right. Jumping in. So, H2O, Halloween 20 years later. So I've been watching all of the Halloween movies, and I took a little break, so I've been watching them still over the course of my break, and I watched H2O the other night. H2O, what it does is it's the 7th movie in the franchise, so it's technically Halloween 7. But what they did is they undid 3, 4, 5, and 6, and this is a sequel to Halloween 2. So now we're getting into the confusing ass fucking timeline portion of the Halloween reviews. Halloween H2O. I love that it's called H2O because it's fucking stupid. What a stupid fucking name. Halloween H2O? What a fucking goddamn stupid fucking name. I know, and I love it. And I love it. So H2O has Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know why Jamie Lee Curtis isn't in 4, 5, and 6. The Cheese trilogy. Like, they got Loomis, Donald Pleasance, but they didn't get Jamie Lee. I don't know. Maybe she didn't want to do it. I'm not sure. But anyway, so she came back for Halloween H2O, which again undoes 4, 5, and 6, right? So now we're in a timeline where 4, 5, and 6 never happened. This is after 2. And it takes place in 1998, the year it was released. And takes place 20 years after Halloween 1 and 2. So Halloween 1 and 2 take place over one evening, right? And then 20 years later, Jamie Lee Curtis is fucked up. And a lot of this movie deals with, like, trauma. Where, like, Jamie Lee Curtis, her character Laurie Strode, is 20 years later. She still can't get over it. And I think that this movie does a pretty good job of showcasing how trauma, like, one event in your life, like, dealing with, like, a murder rampage, or could be a car crash, could be anything. Like, one major traumatic event in your life can affect you in significant ways for decades. And that's what this movie kind of showcases, right? So, like, the first half of the movie is, like, her being, like, hella paranoid, freaking out, like, seeing visions of Michael Myers, right? And then when she finally sees Michael Myers, right, she thinks that, oh, that can't be Michael Myers. I'm having a traumatic episode. I'm hallucinating. Right, so anyway, but Michael Myers comes back, kills a bunch of motherfuckers. Honestly, though, the kills in this movie are really good. Like, on the core, like, gore of a slasher film, the kills in this movie are really good. And then my favorite moment in this movie is when Laurie Strode chops Michael Myers' head off at the end of the film. Now, again, we're going to be talking about Halloween Resurrection, a sequel to this film, in a moment here. But I love that part where she's like, you know what? I'm sick of it. I'm taking this axe. I'm chopping your fucking head off. But again, this movie was just good. I enjoyed the kills. The characters, whatever. But you have Jamie Lee Curtis, right? So, like, she's the star of the show, right? Her, like, kid wants to go to, like, Yosemite Park or some shit. But then he doesn't. But, like, she thinks that he's at the Yosemite Park, but he's not. And then Michael Myers is showing up. So, who knows? There's, like, her trauma, it creates, like, strife in the mother-son relationship, which I think, again, it's portrayed really well. Like, the kid is 17, right? And the Halloween event was 20 years ago, right? So, 3 years after Halloween, she had a kid, right? So the kid doesn't really know much about that, but, like, she's still fucked up from the event, and that can cause, like, again, family strife. Like, like, she tries really hard to shelter the child, and then eventually says, I shouldn't be doing this, and and I think that the best part of this movie, in my opinion, is how it showcases how trauma after an event such as, the event in Halloween 1 and 2 can affect someone's life permanently, right? And then you got Michael Myers, who comes back. Who knows how? Doesn't matter. He comes back and he chops people up and fucking stabs them, and it's, So yeah, it's a good movie. I like H2O. It's a good movie. So there you go. That's Halloween H2O. 20 years later. Very insightful. Damn right, the saddest dude. Now subscribe to the channel for more insightful remarks. I consider myself, a little bit of a philosopher. I philosophize, on the inner machinations of the, I don't know. Anyway. After H2O came out, there was another film, Halloween Resurrection. Okay, so this movie, another one like Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, that was so, they needed to reboot the series again. Like they didn't know what to do after this movie. Now, I want to say this much. This is my second time seeing Halloween Resurrection, and I've got to tell you, Halloween Resurrection is a good movie. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a good fucking movie. It's a good movie. Okay, I'm here to defend Halloween Resurrection. So, the events of the first film, or I guess the third film, or I guess the seventh film, whatever the fuck, okay, H2O. This is a sequel to H2O. So again, timeline, Halloween 1 and 2 split into 4, 5, and 6, and then H2O, and then Resurrection, right? So now we're getting the alternate timelines here. So Jamie Lee Curtis is back, but she is in the role of the initial kill in this movie. Now again, in a lot of slasher movies, a lot of horror movies, like Saw does this. I think Saw really went, above and beyond with like the initial kill kind of thing. But a lot of slashers do this, where they have one character die at the start, and then they introduce a new cast of characters or whatever, blah, 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 right? That's one of the ways, they introduce the villain by killing someone random. In this movie, it's Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, who gets killed by Michael Myers at the very beginning of the film. They retcon the ending of H2O and say, she didn't actually decapitate Michael Myers. It's just Michael Myers put the mask on someone else. And, who knows? Didn't really make any sense. Who cares? It's a fucking slasher movie, okay? It doesn't matter. So Laurie Strode is in, a psychiatric facility. Michael Myers busts in. They have a fight. And eventually, now, again, I really enjoyed, how it's the trauma of the character of Laurie Strode in Halloween Resurrection, right? So she has him. She got him. Michael Myers fell into a trap that she had laid. I don't know how she laid the trap when she's like a prisoner, but whatever. He's hanging from a rope, but she wants to make sure it's really Michael Myers. Now, does she even know what Michael Myers looks like? Well, she pulled the mask off in Halloween 1, but that was 23 years ago in this universe? Who knows, right? And he was burned alive in Halloween 2, so, it's hard to know, right? But anyway, she reaches for him, tries to pull the mask off. Of course, Michael Myers grabs her hand and ends up killing her. So she dies, in the beginning of this movie. Now, I just want to say that is bold. It's a good choice. Killing Laurie Strode at the start of the movie, and it's not a grand battle at all. It's he killed Laurie Strode. All right, now what? Oh, he's just gonna go kill other people because that's who he is. It's Michael Myers. So I think it's a lot better than what they did with Halloween 4, 5, and 6, where Laurie Strode is just she dies off screen. And I think it's cool in the sense that she doesn't die in the finale of H2O. She dies as the initial kill in the next movie. And then that's it. The big plot line of, Michael wants to kill his last family, Then he does, and then guess what he does? He goes and kills more motherfuckers. So that's the beginning of Halloween Resurrection. Starts fairly strong, right? Now, a lot of people say that this is the worst Halloween movie, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people. But watching this movie with the open mind, it is the 8th Halloween movie. It's number 8. Compare this to other number 8s. Compare this to Friday the 13th Part 8. Which one was that? Was that Manhattan? I don't remember. Anyway, so keep this in mind, right? It's Halloween 8. And so he kills Laurie Strode at the start, and then he goes home. He goes back to Haddonfield. And meanwhile in Haddonfield, it is Halloween again, of course. And there's an online streaming company called like Dangertainment. And they're doing like a haunted house stream. And this is like early 2000s streaming, by the way. So that, you know, it's janky. It doesn't look that good. So he's doing an online live stream event of, you know, he's getting like 6 people and they're going to go into the Michael Myers house. And they're going to like, you know, get spooked or whatever, right? So it's all, you know, and then he dresses up as Michael Myers and it's all scripted. But wait, Michael Myers is really there. Oh, whoa, you know. So anyway, one of the bitches involved in the live streaming event, who's the main character, I guess. I mean, I would even go as far as to say she's definitely not a bitch. I mean, you know, I'm willing to say that most women, as they're portrayed in slasher movies, are just bitches that get slashed. You know, like, their characters were written by men. You know, they're basically like the male perception of women. And that's all they are, really. I mean, and again, you know, sometimes you have characters that aren't like that. But I would say typically the average, I mean, let's just be honest. The average movie, right? They write women. Usually it's men that write the characters of women, and it shows. And this movie is no exception. That said, though, the protagonist is, she has more depth of character. So I will say that is interesting. But anyway, so she signs up to this show because her friend wants her to. She doesn't really want to. And she's like internet dating like a high schooler or something. Like it's nondescript, okay? So she's like a college kid. But she's like internet dating a high schooler. I think it's a high schooler. I don't know. Because like they never meet in person, right? There's this other protagonist who's like the lonely nerd who like looks like he's in high school, and then like they say, you know, they're pretending to like be older, so I would assume they're in high school. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. But anyway, so she's talking to this random high schooler. She doesn't know he's a high schooler online, right? Then he's watching the stream as it's happening, and then is giving her like hot tips on where Michael Myers is, because watching the stream, there's the multi-camera setup. It's like Paranormal Activity or something, right? And then like that side plot is so funny because like these like high schoolers are like at a party or something, but like the protagonist guy is like watching a computer stream during the party, so he's a nerd. But then like everyone at the party is like, whoa, this is a cool stream, right? But like they're never involved in the movie at all. It's not like I was thinking when I first watched this movie that this guy would go to the Michael Myers house and save her. But no, he's just watching the stream the whole time. Like, what an idiot, what a loser character. Why was he even in the movie? It made no sense, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that that's the worst part of the movie. Is that, you know, you have like this college girl who's involved in this live stream or whatever. That's one thing. But why is she dating a high schooler on the internet that she doesn't know is a high schooler? Why is that guy getting so much screen time when he's not even really involved with the movie? Like he's just watching the movie. Like he's just like it's a stand-in for the audience, you know? Like I don't know. Anyway, but I gotta say the actual kills in Halloween Resurrection are fucking intense. Like there's some brutal stuff in this fucking movie. You know, like when Michael Myers just like stabs the guy into the door and he's hanging there. I mean, that's a classic one. You know, like there's so many, like this movie, I'm going to be honest, right? Watch this movie. Who cares about the plot? The plot's irrelevant. Watch it as a slasher movie, and this is one of the best Halloween movies, right? It's gritty, right? It's very high anxiety. Michael Myers is in his home turf in the literal sense. That almost all the movie, like the good chunk of the movie, takes place inside the Michael Myers home, which is like the first time really that's happened in the series, which is interesting. It's just a good movie. I enjoyed watching this. I really did. You know, I had a lot more fun with this movie than I would say I've ever had before. Again, I've watched it twice now. But Halloween Resurrection, now again, it killed the series. It killed the series. The next movie is the Rob Zombie reboot. So it killed the series, or remake, I guess. Killed the series. But you know what? I'm going to say this. This movie's probably better than 5 and 6. You know, is it better than 2 or 1? Nah. Is it better than 4? Probably not. Is it better than H2O? Nah. But it's better than 5 and 6. So, Halloween Resurrection, I enjoyed it. I thought the kills were gruesome. And really, that was the most entertaining part. Like, the whole live streaming part was just a pretense. It didn't make any sense. It was really, honestly, it was fucking stupid. Like, the texts, like, coming on the phone. Like, I'm sorry. If it's like, when did this movie come out? Like, 2002 or some shit? There is no way that you can be live streamed and someone can text you real-time information in 2002. It's just not going to happen. Right? Like, this guy is watching the live stream. Michael Myers is upstairs. Like, motherfucker, that shit's going to have so much delay. There's going to be at least a minute of a delay. Right? So anyway, it doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you suspend your disbelief, it's a fun movie. And you know what? I'm in. Halloween Resurrection, I'm in. I say better than 5 and 6. So that's Halloween Resurrection. I noticed that I'm losing viewers. There's a section of my fan base that's like, oh, horror movies? Who cares? And I want to say to those viewers, fuck you. And I hate you. And fuck you. So, that's what I say to those viewers. 1 or 2 days off a week. I will work on that later, but thank you for the input. Up next, after Halloween Resurrection killed the series, Rob Zombie brought it back. Halloween, a Rob Zombie film. So I just wanted to let you know about my personal viewing history of the Halloween movies. This is the last movie I watched. And that's not to say that I didn't want to watch Halloween 2, Rob Zombie. I just never got around to it. This is the last Halloween movie I watched up until this year's, because I watched Halloween 2 as well, right? And I'm going to watch the 3 new movies. Going to start those today, right? So, but again, every other Halloween movie I've seen at least one time. I've seen the first one several times, but this is the last movie I've only, Halloween 2, and then the new ones I've never seen before. So these are going to be fresh. But Halloween, a Rob Zombie film. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, John Carpenter's Halloween, the first one and the second one, they're good movies, right? Especially of the era. They're different kinds of movies, right? Like, it's like 30 or 40 minutes shorter, the first Halloween, than this Rob Zombie one. But I'm not going to lie to y'all. This movie may be my favorite out of all of the Halloween movies. It may be, I might like it more than the original. It's hard to tell. I mean, it's just so many different vibes, right? Like, the original, it's the classic. It's iconic. It's more, less is explained in the original. It's shorter, right? So, I want to say the original is my favorite, but this one, Rob Zombie's Halloween, it really is. It's so good. It really is just so good. It really is. I was impressed. Now again, I like Rob Zombie movies. Earlier this year, I watched through the Firefly trilogy. I watched House of 1000 Corpses, Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell. You can go watch those movie reviews on my channel. Just look them up. I'm a fan of those movies. And I've seen this movie before. I've seen it once before, around when it came out. So I was a lot younger at the time. And again, watching this again, especially in the context of marathoning all the films, this one is fucking great. It's great. So again, it's a remake, but it's also a reimagining. In the original Halloween, there's not much that's explained. Now again, the original Halloween was supposed to be called like the Babysitter Murders or some shit. They did, and the theme of the movie is just some babysitters are getting fucked up by some crazy guy, right? There was not, they didn't bake into the original Halloween all of this lore. There was, like, Laurie Strode was not the sister, that she was just a random babysitter, and then they added that plot point in Halloween 2, right? Halloween was a low-budget slasher movie without really any story, right? They don't even show how Michael Myers escapes, right? Like, it's just, he's there, right? And so the thing I love about Rob Zombie's Halloween is it bakes in a lot of the stuff that we know from the series. Like, a lot of the lore that's been established from all the Halloween movies prior, a little bit of all of it is in here. So one, you got Laurie Strode in this movie, who is baked in. We already know that that's the sister. We know that from the jump. It's not a surprise. It's not like it's, it pops up later on and then it's, So we know that. This movie also goes into exquisite detail of Michael Myers as a young kid. I think the first 35 to 40 minutes is young Michael Myers, right? So shit that was like a 3-minute flashback in the original is now like a giant chunk of the film. It is a major plot point of the film of how Michael Myers was as a kid. And I know a lot of people are critical of that, but I think that they did a fucking great job. I think that it's a little weird. They kind of make Michael Myers out at the start to be like the bullied kid who's like defending himself. But then like there is the slow transition from bullied kid defending yourself to, just crazy motherfucker. I think it's well defined. Some people may disagree. I've read people that say that they don't like how Michael Myers is a victim at the start of this movie. I think he starts as a victim and then turns into something more. That's a lot of how serial killer psychology works too, right? When you look at serial killer psychology, a lot of the times, right, you look at their childhood, they were bullied, their parents abused them, right? They were beaten as kids. And so it makes sense, right? That like when you're a kid and you're exposed to violence from a young age, you could be the victim. And then a lot of people, they remain the victim. And, they try to heal from that trauma. But some people, they get the wrong lesson. Something in them, right? They snap and they become just like, the cycle of violence continues. And that's what this movie kind of showcases. So, I think Rob Zombie did a great job on the serial killer psychology and going in depth to young Michael Myers. I think the child actor who played young Michael Myers did a great job. I think, I'm not gonna lie, Sherry Moon Zombie, who almost all the time is just like, I don't want to say that she's bad at acting, but this might be the best movie she's ever been in. She did a really good job. Now, again, Rob Zombie always puts her in every movie. I'm going to be talking about that in Halloween 2 in a second here, right? But she did a great job as the Michael Myers mom. And, like, the way that she played the mother of Michael Myers was great. Because she came home from work to find, Michael covered in blood. And then, she was told that Michael Myers had killed her whole family. Right, and then Michael is in the facility, but she never saw it happen, right? Like, she didn't see it happen, and it's shown that Michael Myers claims like he didn't do any of that. He doesn't know how it happened, right? That's what his story is for the first couple of months and like maybe a year or two. of being in the mental health care facility. Sam Loomis in this movie, they did a great job. Malcolm McDowell, of course, did a wonderful job as Loomis. Loomis in Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I'll talk about that later. But in Halloween, great fucking job. Excellent character. Excellent acting. The way that they aged him, you know, excellent all across the board. They did a great job. Wonderful, wonderful acting. But anyway, so Michael Myers claims that he didn't do any of that. But then there's a moment where, like, later in the film, like, you know, it becomes a routine that, you know, Sherry Moon, aka whoever the mom is, I don't even know her name, is visiting him, and, you know, it's like once a week, and then, you know, he's wondering, when the fuck am I gonna get out of here? And eventually Loomis is like, you're not gonna get out of here. Like, this is gonna be the rest of your life. So Michael Myers, like, you know, after his mother leaves him, like, you know, for a routine visit, you know, some random nurse is in there, like, giving him food or something. I don't know what's going on. And he takes a fork and kills her. And then the mother of Michael Myers finally is confronted with what she's been in denial with. And again, Sherry Moon Zombie did a great fucking job playing that role. Because again, she went from, I can't believe this, I don't believe this, something must have happened, not my beautiful baby boy, right? And he's saying that. But then she actually sees, like, the blood all over him, the look in his eyes, you know, like the dead body right there, right? She actually puts two and two together, and she realizes that, yeah, Michael Myers is a monster. And then the way that, like, they did the scene of her killing herself, watching, like, the old family footage, it was excellent, man. I gotta tell you, that was some real, like, again, the original Halloween is really good, but this movie is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Rob Zombie's Halloween is fucking phenomenal. So then that's the origin story, right? And then, like, you know, we see, like, Danny Trejo is, like, nice to him in the mental facility. And then he kills him anyway. Michael Myers, when he escapes 15 years later, kills him anyway. And that shows, like, that's supposed to signify that, like, there is no good in him, right? He's just pure evil. Like, he killed the guy who was nice to him for 15 years without any remorse, without any regret, without any hesitation. He just murdered him as soon as he became an obstacle, right? So, and then, like, I love the scene when he kills that motherfucker in the bathroom. That, again, this is a great movie. And then, like, the scene where he goes back to the home to find the mask or whatever. Great movie. I mean, this is a great movie. So, and again, all of that not shown in the original Halloween. In the original Halloween, all we know is that Sam Loomis shows up, a bunch of freaks are, like, you know, wandering around like a farmland, and then he's like, where's Michael Myers? And then, you know, and then it's Laurie Strode's story from that point on, right? But Laurie Strode's story in this movie is really small. Like, her role in the original Halloween is like most of the movie, right? But in this movie, her role is much smaller. And I like it. I like it that this movie was more about Michael Myers than about the other characters. And I think that that's interesting, right? Because if you're going to remake Halloween, where is the most fertile ground for a remake? It's in the origin story, right? Because they kind of told the origin story in the original Halloween over the course of the sequels, right? Like Halloween 2, they put more origin story in, and it's all, like, kind of added in after the fact. But baking it all into the same product, I think this movie is fantastic. If I were to recommend anyone see a Halloween movie, it's this one. The way that this movie also references and pays homage to the original is fucking incredible, right? Like, the scene replays where, like, Michael Myers is, like, hiding behind the tree and Laurie looks at him out the window, to, like, when he's hiding behind the bush. All the classic scenes are there, and they're done well. One of my favorite moments in this movie is when Loomis saves Laurie Strode at the end, or, like, in the climactic area, right? He saves her, right, in a roundabout way. They're in the car, and then Laurie is like, was that the boogeyman? And then Loomis is like, I do believe it was, which is, like, one of the final lines of the original Halloween, like the first movie, 1978. That's one of the last lines of the movie, right? But then in this movie, it subverts the expectation, because then Michael Myers is still there. He like crashes his hand through the fucking car windows. They're about to drive away. And then there's like a whole 20 minutes left in the movie, right? And again, I just thought like the way that like it references the original, but then shakes it up. I thought it's just, this is an incredible remake. I mean, oftentimes remakes are not as good as the original. I mean, John Carpenter has his own remake that is better than the original. The Thing versus The Thing from Another World. Now, again, I don't know if I would say that this is better than the original, right? It's hard to compare them because they're so different. The way that they explore the story really is so different that it's hard to compare them. But this is one of those movies that is just extremely well done. Like, in the way that it handles the source material, from the things that it acknowledges to the things that it adds on to the things that it changes. The way, like, it's a great movie. Rob Zombie's Halloween, it may be my favorite of the Halloween movies. It really may be. Now, again, the original and this one, they're two totally different vibes, right? Like, the original it's the classic. Nothing beats a classic. It really is. It's like aging a fine wine or some shit, right? Like, the older a movie is, right? Like, it really, again, I know some people, might scoff at me saying this, but again, just something being old and being good, there's something about it. I don't know what else to say. Something about it. The original is the original. You can't beat the original Halloween. It really is just that good. But this one, as a remake, as Rob Zombie's own entry into the series, it's phenomenal. And then Rob Zombie made a Halloween 2, and I'll be jumping into that very shortly. But damn. Anyway, I got one more here. Hopefully y'all are enjoying this extended horror show. It's extended. And it's a horror show. If anyone wants to give me money, now would be a great time to do so. Just feel free to give me some cash money or just non-cash money, currencies of any kind. That would be great. All right. Jumping in, Rob Zombie did it again, Halloween 2. All right, so again, Halloween 2 is the first of the Halloween movies that I have never seen before. I've seen all of them up until Rob Zombie's remake of the first one. Some of them I've seen multiple times. Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie, as well as the new trilogy, which is actually a quadrilogy. I'll get into it later. Never seen these before. So, once again, Halloween 2 does a great job at referencing the source material and then going in a completely different direction. And the thing I love about Halloween 2, my favorite part of Halloween 2 is how it starts. Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie starts very, very similarly to Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, where Laurie Strode is in a hospital. She's running away from Michael Myers. I think it's like the first 20 minutes. And you think, oh, this is Halloween 2. Michael Myers just basically, he kills some motherfuckers, he escapes, and it's brutal. He murders motherfuckers. It is crazy. And it's like the first 20 minutes. It's right in. It's right fucking in. They jump right in. He's right? Buddy, the truck driver, right? They're all fucked up. But then, Laurie wakes up from the dream. And again, I just have to say, that whole segment, having never seen this movie before, not having that spoiled for me, but having seen the original Halloween and Halloween 2, that opening segment, I was so impressed that it basically, like, the bad parts of this movie that I'm going to be talking about are overshadowed by that. Like, the way that it starts off like it's going to be a direct remake of the original Halloween 2, and it plays into it for a good chunk of time. It's not like a 3-minute thing. It's like a good 10 to 15 minutes. where it plays in. Now, this is Halloween 2. You know, it's a remake of the other Halloween 2. But then Laurie wakes up from the dream, and it's a year later. And then now it's a completely different thing. Now it's more like it's just completely new territory now. Because Halloween and Halloween 2, the original, take place in the same night in 1978. So the original comes out in 1978. The second one comes out in 1981. But they both take place on Halloween evening of 1978, right? And this one, it starts off that way, but then it's like, oh no, she's dreaming. And similarly to what I talked about in my H2O review, this movie, a lot of this movie deals with trauma and how the character of Laurie Strode has fallen apart, essentially. Her parents were murdered by Michael Myers, right? And her friend has scars all over her face. She survived from the first movie, but you can see that, like, you know, it destroyed her both physically, mentally. Like, they're both just, like, fucked up. Like, she's having nightmares. And it's just, her life sucks. Like, her life sucks a year later, and her life fucking sucks. And then the other part of this movie, there's two other main aspects of this movie that I want to talk about real quick. It's the Loomis story and the Michael Myers story. So the Michael Myers story is the most interesting. So Rob Zombie had a problem. Rob Zombie had a massive problem when starting Halloween 2. And that's the fact that Michael Myers' mother is already dead. I don't know if Rob Zombie was planning on doing a Halloween 2 from the start. I don't think so. They also got a different child actor for Michael Myers, so it makes me think that, you know, that this was an afterthought. You know, and you can't, like, de-age a child, right? But anyway. But Sherry Moon Zombie played Michael Myers' mother, and she died in the first movie. What do we do? What do we do? I gotta have my hot-ass wife in the movie, right? What do we do? That's Rob Zombie's crisis. So what does he do? Well, you know, this is, I was reading some reviews online, and this is like the least popular part of this movie is the white horse bullshit. Okay? And so Sherry Moon Zombie, playing the mother of Michael Myers, shows up with a white horse in like a fairy tale land that like Laurie Strode can see and that Michael Myers can see, but no one else can see. And that's established at the end when Loomis interferes and he can't see the white horse and Sherry Moon. Again, I understand Rob Zombie has to put his wife in every movie. I get it. That's the deal. I understand that. Right? She had to be in there somewhere. So I'm okay with that. All right? I get it. I respect their relationship. They seem to be working out pretty well for each other. So I understand that. That's the deal. But that being said, I don't know, man. It was weird. It was weird. Like, I don't mind the idea of Michael Myers seeing like a ghost of his mother. Like, you know, it's like Dexter, you know, the show Dexter, where he has like the ghost of his, you know, his father Harry that, like, you know, talks to him and stuff. So I don't mind that, right? You know, works in Dexter. I think it works really well in Dexter. It can work. It's a good concept, seeing the ghost of someone that you respect in some way. It's a great idea. Now, the execution in this film, you know, it's iffy at best. Now, again, I don't think it destroys the film. I just think it's just like whenever you see like the segments where Sherry Moon Zombie is on screen with the white horse and stuff, and Michael's like and you know, like whenever you see that stuff, it's just like, oh, okay, and it just kind of comes out of nowhere, right? And then like Laurie Strode can, when she's dreaming, she like sees what Michael's seeing or so. It's weird. It's weird, but you know, it really is like 4, 5, and 6 are supernatural. So fuck it. You know, Rob Zombie was like, Halloween 1, the original, is all reality. Halloween 2, let's fuck around. Let's get supernatural, right? So on the slasher, the kills in this movie are excellent. The kills are excellent. They're really fucking good, right? The gritty shit. I love when Michael Myers is like killing the truckers, you know, like the random like redneck guys or whatever in the farmland. That was great. Just the kills are great. One thing about this movie that I will note is that Michael Myers grunts a lot in this movie, and he doesn't really do that in any other way, in any other context. Right? Any other movie, I don't think Michael Myers ever makes a sound. In this movie, he's like, as he's slashing people. You know, it's noticeable, it's weird, but is it a problem? Who cares? And so, but anyway, I thought this movie was excellent. I really did. Now, again, I don't think it's as good as Rob Zombie's first Halloween. I think Rob Zombie's first Halloween is all good. I think it's like a really, for the genre, for what it is, like I think Rob Zombie's Halloween is S tier. I think it's excellent stuff. This is a very good sequel, but it does have some problems. So one of my first issues with this movie is how Sam Loomis's character is dealt with and how other characters react to him. I found it way underexplained. So like Sam Loomis releases a book based on the events of the first movie. But in the book, he doesn't really like ask people for permission on like how he writes about people. He just writes about people and that's it. He doesn't give them a heads up. He doesn't. And so is it dickish? Absolutely. But like the way that he's accused of like profiting off of people's suffering, I mean, he also suffered. He almost died in the first movie. And Sam Loomis, the character, makes this point in the movie where he's like, I almost fucking died. I'm allowed to write about my own experience. And that's true. Right? That's true. But one of the things about this movie that really makes me like I don't mind the Sam Loomis like being a dick arc. But I think they should have explained it a little bit more. They should have given us some more excerpts from the book. Like we see one of the parents from one of the people that died in the first movie try to like kill him at the bookstore with a gun. Why would that be the case? Why would he want to kill Sam Loomis? Right? Like I feel like that whole plot line was under-explained. Now, it is hilarious when he goes on that television show with Weird Al Yankovic and, you know, like they're cracking jokes at Loomis's expense. I thought that was fucking funny. Oh, man, that whole segment with Weird Al was hilarious. That was fucking hilarious. Oh, my God. That shit, so funny. Anyway, so, again, Loomis dies at the end of this movie trying to save Laurie Strode. Spoiler alert. And so, like, that's his redemption arc. But, like, I thought this movie was good. I thought it was good. Is it as good as Rob Zombie's first Halloween? No. But it's good. It's a good sequel. I liked it. I enjoyed how, like, I thought the supernatural elements with the white horse and the ghost mom, they're okay. Are they excellent? No. Like, is it the worst part of the movie? Absolutely. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You know what? Whatever. Ghost mommy? Who cares? You got to put Sherry Moon in the movie. That's the rule. That's what these people don't understand. These critics, these so-called critics, they don't get it. They don't fucking get it. Sherry Moon Zombie has to be in the movie. They don't what don't you understand? And as far as that, like she has to be in the movie, you know what? They did a good job. It's not that bad. When you understand that she has to be in the movie and there's no way out of it, the way that they put her in there, it's okay. They did a good job, okay? Is it great? No. Is it the worst part of the movie? Yes. But does that make the rest of the movie bad by comparison? Not at all. So Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie. I'm in. I thought this movie was great. Now again, is it as good as the first Halloween by Rob Zombie? Not even close. I don't know about not even close, but it is notably in a lower league, but it's still really great. Again, the way it subverts the source material, where like it starts off as like a clone of Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, 1981, but then it turns out that that's a dream sequence, and then it's a whole unique interpretation, totally brand new story. I thought that was cool. And honestly, that's so cool that the whole movie, like all the bad parts of the movie don't matter just because of how cool that opening is. Watching that for the first time, thinking that this is going to be a direct remake of Halloween 2, and then it then subverting that expectation and turning totally into a new thing. Love it. So, And yeah, I thought that this movie was good. I enjoyed it. The kills are good. Michael Myers was looking fucked up. I love when he put the mask on, but he has like this long ass fucking like Viking beard. So like the beard is like sticking out underneath the mask. I thought that was funny. This is a great movie. So again, I'm a Rob Zombie film fan. Not everyone is into that, but I do. I'm in. So Laurie Strode eventually she realizes that she's Michael Myers' sister. She finds out that from reading Loomis's book, and she has a meltdown, right? And that's like a core part of the movie is that she melts down, and then she like contextualizes how she can see the ghost mommy, and like it's that part again. It's weird, but Halloween in 4, 5, and 6, in H2O and Resurrection, it's pretty supernatural already. I mean, hey, you can make the argument Halloween 2 is supernatural, 1981. How did he survive getting shot so many times, right? So you can make the argument that the Halloween is always supernatural. The thing about the first Halloween, both the original John Carpenter and the Rob Zombie, is that they're both real. Like, even if there's supernatural elements behind the scenes, right, they don't affect the way that those movies can happen in real life. Everything makes sense to happen in real life. Maybe, again, Michael Myers has taken one too many shots, right? But it's like, you know what? Whatever. But Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie, good sequel. A little weird, again, but Sherry Moon Zombie had to be in the movie, and when you understand that she had to be there and there's no option, there's no debate, the way that they put her in the movie, I thought it went really well. So again, I'm a Rob Zombie fan. That's Halloween 2. And there you go. So I'm going to be watching the new Halloween movies. There's new ones. They're making more. One of them just came out like last week or something. So I'm going to be checking those out too. Never seen any of them. And we'll be getting into that shortly. But there you go. So that's my horror movie review portion of the program. Catching up. I don't like doing watch parties. Maybe I'd be willing to do it in very specific ways. But I like watching the movie. You know, like when I'm doing a watch party, like it's a social event. I'm like distracted. I'm typing. What if I want to pause? What if I want to like go get some snacks? What if Max needs to, you know... It's just, it doesn't really work for me as like a frequent thing. Now, I'm open to doing like, I don't know, like once a month, maybe something, you know, like I'm open to that concept, but like, you know, for me, this is my own, you know, this is my own hang up, you know, that's just how I am. But I'm open to trying out a format of that at some point in the future. That is possible. Reel on 70s R's. Have a good rest of your day. DD 10 Chiffs. Great show. Goddamn, 10 people just diagnosed with congestive heart failure. Thank you, DD, for that one. But yeah, I mean, I hope that y'all have a good time. I hope that no one was, you know, negatively affected by me taking a couple days off. I'm sure everyone survived. In fact, let me ask a very self-serving question. How did people react? Like what was your reaction when you show up and I wasn't, and I, you know, cuz this is the thing I was talking about on the last show I did before I took a break. Was like if I were to take a break, I'm going to have to say it somewhere, but then there's going to be people that don't see it, and then that's going to, you know, so, but then I just did it anyway. But I did post on the community tab, and some people said that they did not see it. I posted on Twitter. Some people said that they did not see it. I'm going to try to if I do take another break again, you know, I will try to announce it, but, been going through a little bit of some mental health crises. And, you know, there you go. So, trying to make it through. But, yeah, I don't know how the community tab thing even works, honestly. Like, at all. I don't, like, does it show up in the same, like, do you get a notification? Like, I don't know. Also, again, I'm moving my Doom speedrunning stuff to a new channel. I know not everyone likes Doom. I know not everyone likes speedrunning. I know not everyone watches my video game videos. I am aware of these factors, which is why people have been asking me to split stuff. For a while, I decided I'm going to make a channel specifically for Doom speedruns. I don't care. Subscribe anyway. I want to get monetization on the channel, and that can only happen when I hit the 1,000 subscribers and the multiple thousand hours of watch time. So even if you don't care at all, just subscribe. That's all I want you to do. And when I get monetization, feel free to unsubscribe. It's that simple. Once I'm monetized, if you don't like the content, unsubscribe. But for now, just back me up there. And so that's my big thing with not wanting to put other kinds of content on another channel, is that I can't monetize it. And so I decided, you know what, fuck it, whatever. I'll just start the process and we'll see how long it takes. But anyway, so go subscribe to that. I honestly don't give a shit if you don't like the content. I don't care at all. Go subscribe anyway. So there you go. Yeah. That's like, for me, like my favorite hobby. I love movies. I love cooking. I love taking long walks through nature. And I love speedrunning Doom. So those are my things. I love talking about the news. I love talking about the world. But I also love speedrunning Doom. And so that's my passion. So, and I'm good at it. You know, it helps that I'm not, you know, I'm not the worst. Some would even say I'm one of the best. I wouldn't say that. Now, it is a fact that I'm one of the best. That is true. That is factually accurate. But I wouldn't say that. So, there you go. Yeah, I want to watch all the Hellraisers. I've only seen 1, 2... I saw one of the Cheesequels. I forget which one. It was a long time ago when I was much younger. And I saw the new one. I did a review of the new one, which is great. I don't like coconut. That's true. That's factual. But yeah, I am, I'm going to be working on, like, again, I've said this many times that I have a lot of secret projects that I'm working on. So, you know, I do have secret projects that I am working on here and there. But, you know, I've also got a lot in general going on in my life that is not publicized in any fashion. And so, you know, sometimes I get a little overloaded. Sometimes it happens. Usually I push through. Usually I just push through. If you watched the previous Above It All show, you know, I was pretty much in the middle of the meltdown when I started that stream, but, you know, made it through. But anyway, you know, so, you know, I'm working on it. I'm trying my best. And, you know, I don't know if that's sufficient. You know, I always feel like people want an explanation, but they don't, you know, they don't need to. I don't need to explain anything. But I'm always compelled to explain things. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Bye-bye.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Who created Pokemon Go, but I've tried to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, this is genius.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.